There we go. Hey, good morning, everyone. Um, so I have been engaged in a couple of things that prevented me from creating, or rather, it was the first episode. Let me say that. So last week, it was the prologue. I taught, or 2 weeks, whatever it was. My last was about 2 weeks, and during that period of time, I spoke about where I was um, mentally, professionally. Like I had one thing I'm starting to comfortable is that the more I see like other people stream, it's always me seeming, or excuse me, it's always me feeling like I need to be. Um, I could die today. I could have died at any point when what happened to me did, and when I think about what I owe myself, um, I owe it to myself to finish. To that end, um, I'll recap. I went on a leave of absence, 2020. Work 6 months after I went out on leave. 6 months after that, I was promoted. By March 31st, the manager who hired me quitting because, it's so funny whenever I think about it. It's like being hired into a where my boss is leaving in like 2 months. And that shit was hard because I feel like I entered a role um, where I would have a great, and well, I learned what I did. Um, so right now, at a point talking about Shaw, she currently works. Now, granted, I should say, throughout all of this, Megan Shaw has still remained employed um, with Cyox Health Datavant. Or at least that's what it's called now. It's called Datavant. Um, when I met her the first week of, that's when she started the job, in the first week of, so I've been in the department for a month at that, and or about a month, over a month. I got the job in February, and I started a couple of, um, recalling it from memory is hard, and when I write it down, um, it just builds all of the emotions that I have now, knowing everything that, um, but anyhow, I met her in the first week of, during that time, I reached out to her to, because HR gave something to do, by the end of the, I'd known that I was moving, and I spoke with my manager at the time. Um, I'd already planned. And when letting Meg and Sean know of everything, the fact that I'm moving, I want to get together with her to do the HR project because I couldn't really. It seemed like they wanted to. All right. So the HR assignment was to identify like goals, and I think by this time, I I still didn't really have access to the systems required to do. My boss left. My boss left the company within 2 weeks. What goals could I possibly have? But I did know that I wanted to be in my department. The reason I wanted to be was like I'm seeing a lot of data, um, and I believed that I would be something, which I believe I did. I was good at my job, so um, so yeah, I met with me, and as far as I knew, I'd settled everything I needed to by the end of the. When I came back the following week, Megan and I had a regarding me taking PTO. She told I'd planned on working throughout my shift, working with. I could still get a handle on the department and my staff. Megan reached out to me, said, "Hey, what happened? I got your message um, regarding me taking PTO, everything." She asked me if I was okay. She said that the things that we worked on for the HR assignment didn't. And so she created a metric for me based on what we did. Um, I came back to work. By April 14th, we were having a meeting about, oh, an assignment that she needed us to complete or wanted us to complete. Um, I think basically we had to put together what our inventory was and the issues that we were having address inventory. During the meeting, I asked questions based on what was being presented because, again, I'm new to the department. Don't really know. I don't know what they're talking about. You know, like I have an understanding about what we're doing in the department based on my prior manager. The week that the new manager took over, um, it was a matter of processing data. The following week, they want to implement changes and oh, that was what it was. She wanted me to give her a time frame as to when I would be able to complete the assignment, and I still did not understand the assignment. When trying to speak to her about it, um, he was just nasty at meeting, and I'm like, I'm not doing anything different than what I've been doing, asking questions, hoping to receive answers. Um, but that didn't happen. I called a meeting with her to talk to her about her behavior um, how I felt in the department, isolated, boss that I was working with left. There was this whole new process going to happen at the or happen within the department, and I don't know if I had system access by that point, but like, bro, I'm in a new position. I don't have the resources. I have questions that people can't answer. The only one who could, the person left. Yo, I'm stressed out. You know, I have anxiety. I have depression. These things are real, and they happen to me. Um, so anyway, I asked her to join me in a meeting where I spoke with her about how I felt regarding asking for help or anything, receiving support. Megan then asked me what I was working because this is since I got in, as I said, I'm taking in a lot of data and I don't know how it fits together yet, you know, but I'm excited to work with it. And I showed her built an interface for like using Excel, you know, building models to show what I can see, what's actionable, what needs help. Like I sorted, you know, I sorted everything that I could do from what I couldn't do. And when this happened, he was like, "Oh my gosh, this is what you've been working on. Um, you show an aptitude. I want to be, but I can't. I can't remember her exact. But she told me that I had an understanding of data that was higher than that of my. And again, like I'm a type of person. Like if I'm doing something right, but I don't really get hype off of, oh, I'm able to do something. There's still more to be done, you know? Um, After that, she saw, right, that I can do my job. She saw that I had a understanding of my position that she told me based on her experience my peers don't have. Okay? So let's work together towards making sure that we I still have to do the assignment. I'm not um I'm still not sure what you're asking me to do. Can we please work together so that I can do um I asked her for honest and transparent communication and yo you want like yo I want to use slang, right? And so I'm going to like yo you wildin' big time, you know? Just everything's gonna be okay, you know? Um just help me be the mentor that you think you are. I mean, and like, you know, we'll be able to work together, so on and so forth. The assignments that she had assigned to the department, I had mine finished by the end of the week, and I also scheduled a call or two to ensure that I was doing. She mentioned during the same space of time, um, mentioned that any issue that I have, I should post in the supervisor Teams chat that we had, which I did. Any issue that I had, I reported it, I escalated it to her for her to starting it. Before 19, um, it was like towards the end of the day. The analysts for the department had a meeting with me and Megan Shaw where they were trying to understand what was going on in the inventory that assigned to me, that I escalated to me. Um, Megan opens a side chat outside of the meeting, like, "Hey, did you escalate this or whatever?" And I couldn't understand. I literally could not understand what she was asking me because you created this assignment that directly addressed the inventory that we were having issues. I escalated it based on you advising me to do in the supervisor chat. Why are you asking me questions about if I knew who I had to escalate that? We've already talked about. So it's confusing, you know. Then she says, well, did you reach out to me? She could never understand how disrespectful. Um, I've since you started in the department, I've come to you regarding issues that I was going to have and actions that I could take, was going to take in order for everything to. You met with within the last week, let's say 4 days ago, and consistently, say for the weekend, talked about this inventory. Why would you sit here and ask me um, if I spoke to you about it? It was bizarre. Um, I, I still can't comprehend that shit to this. You and I are working on something, know that we're working on something. You then ask me if I reached out, if I spoke to you. That's weird. Weird. And I said as much, right? And then she said, I was offended by it, right? Because in that question, like, hey, did you reach out to me? Um, if I said no, I know for a fact, right, that she would have escalated that matter as, oh, he never told me. I knew that shit, right? Because that's the first thing people do. When people do something wrong, the first thing they try to do is, I am not immune to this. I don't want to do the wrong thing. But when I do, I own up to it. You know, if I know about it, I apologize. I do what I have to do to set the record straight so that there's no, I don't have any issues. Um, because she knew that I spoke all of the questions she was asking me at the end. Because it was time to go or 30 minutes outside of that, I said, I'm signing out. Because one, I'm upset, right? But two, you're gaslighting me. You knew we discussed everything, and yet you'd ask me if I spoke to you. That's weird. I'm sorry. I'm not to belabor the point, but that was it. Shit still bothers me because it's not like during the meeting on the 14th, she didn't tell me that she basically rolls out of bed 30 minutes before her first meeting. And she knew that I was up hours ahead of my first person signing in to make sure I have a handle on stuff. Inventory is taken care of, all of that shit. Well, I know I put in the work to be good at what I did, and she did not. At least I knew it, you know. That was that was April 19th. On April 20th, Megan scheduled a meeting with me, her, and I'd sent an email to her stating that, don't listen, just help me leave the department. Because you, it seemed retaliative that I speak to you. Mind you, we talk about honest, direct, transparent communication. I give that to you. I say, this is what we're doing. I don't understand the questions you're asking me. I'm offended that you and I worked together basically all of the prior week. Because what was that? That was Monday. So by by Wednesday to Friday, and I spoke with you on time. We probably didn't speak. I can't. I'll have to go. But like, you now schedule a meeting with HR, and when I ask you what the meeting is about, you're, I asked what the meeting was about, and she responded, "Are you refusing to attend? You're hostile. You're hostile." If you wanted to say that I was hostile on the 19th by saying my feelings are hurt, I am upset, whatever, you know, but you goading me or creating an ultimate where I have to sit for however long it was going to be before the meeting started, not knowing what the meeting was about, and you refuse to tell me. No, I don't want to be on your. No, I don't. I don't. I don't want to work together with you because I don't trust you. And I'm not asking for a new boss. Or, yeah, actually, no. I asked for a new manager. Um, I was actually thinking about not being in the department because I'm not going to rag on the department. That's not what this is. I'm instead going to say I knew I had difficulties in the department, and I reported to her the difficulties I was having within the department. And then she became an obstacle in me being effective. Um, Nasty. It was really nasty to me, you know. And then when the meeting starts, so all of that, I asked her. She received my email regarding me attending the meeting, but like, I don't want to work together with her. I don't trust her at this point, you know. Um, when the meeting starts, I asked if they received my email regarding my position on this like meeting we're having. Um, they both said, "Oh, I received the letter," so on. As I received your email. I'm just whatever the fuck she was saying, you know. Um, I asked them what the meeting was about. The HR person said, "Why don't you tell us what this was?" Juliet Maddox. I don't know where she is. Uh, Fuck her big time. So she, and I'll tell you why. She asked me what I thought the meeting was. So you scheduled a meeting with me, and then you want me to tell you what I'm having, what I think the meeting is about. Okay. I think that Megan is retaliating against me for, I mean, look at this meeting. You know, I had an issue regarding inventory that she neglected. I reported it to, I've done everything in my power to escalate it to her, and she did not act. Not if, not, not if, not if on April 19th, you're asking me if I spoke with you last week about the things we spoke about. And then today, April 20th, you have an HR meeting that you not only refuse to tell me the meeting, but you give me ultimatums as to whether or not I'm going to show up or what. It was just weird, you know? So I reported all the issues that I was having an issue in the department where I don't have the reason. I've spoken to Megan numerous times about the inventory of a site. I have done everything that I knew to do. And we are still here now where I'm in an HR meeting and you still have not told me what I'm in this meeting for. So now for the next 15 minutes, you get to hear me talk about the issues that I'm having, and you aren't yet sure. It's hard. Like it's hard for me to comprehend the actions of people because they are just sometimes incomprehensible. You know. So after the 15 minutes of telling her the issues that I was having in the and with Megan specifically, Juliet Maddox said, she said, oh, it's not about any of that. It's about you leaving early. Um, she said, apparently you left at 12:30. Um, and I'm like, what are you talking about? If Teams is timestamped and all the messages that we had in exchange shows that I was at work until about maybe 33. What are you talking about? Well, Megan said you started work at 8 and then you left at 12:30. I'm like, I started at 6, which Megan knew my hours, right? Like let's just keep it a buck. Megan knew my hours because she asked me to. She knew that I was on the East Coast at the time and there was an hour difference. Me leaving at 12:30 your time is not me leaving at. I worked since 6 to 3. I worked 9.5 hours that on the 19th, and I'm salary. Um, what's the issue? Then she said. Juliet Maddox says that asked me about my hour, and then I counted. I said I worked from 8 or from 6 to 3:30. And I counted 6 to 12 to 6 plus 3 till 3 o'clock 3:30. That's the hours, and I counted because I'm like I don't understand the point in this thing yet. You know, I worked this period of time. Could you explain to me why I'm being given a hard time for heading out early based on the stuff that Megan Shaw said to me on on April 19th? Right? saying that we're going to be, I don't know, man. On the 14th, we talked about honesty, and she refused. She was not transparent on the 19th, and she was not transparent on the 20th. You called the HR meeting for no reason. And then when I was counting, right? Because I'm like, I don't understand how else to show that I've been in this place. Then when asking Megan questions directly about that, she's like, I'm not going to answer that. I'm not going to respond to me. And I'm like, I don't. So then I spoke directly to Julia. I worked 9.5 hours. Is it okay that I left 30 minutes before, you know, call? She said yes. There was another issue where I went on an errand on my lunch break, and I wanted to make sure that I can do whatever I want to do on my lunch break. Not rob a bank or anything like that, but like my time was my time. Can I use my time to run my own? And HR said yes. So by the end of that meeting, there was no reason for it. I reached out to Megan Shaw specifically and show proof of that. Come on. I have proof of that. Proof that this transaction happened where, and that was earlier in the week, or in the last stream, I said the difference between I think and others is the way how things compile in me. I don't look for evidence to prove a point, right? Because evidence is just data that is to prove a point. Proof. The way I process different is more. I draw my conclusions after I have all of it. And the amount of data that I require to be at like 100% sure of something, I'm not trying to prove a story. I'm recalling history as I recall it. And I'm willing to be wrong about a lot of things because I don't know everything, right? I just don't. Um, I don't know everything, you know? I'm willing to work together to know better so I can do better. And I have at least one on record by that point, by April 20th, 2021, I knew that I was being harassed and retaliated. Do it. Had no reason. You 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 had all of the information required for you, and you still didn't. Thought to blame me for it. This all happened by April, and by the 20th, you called the HR meeting that served specifically no purpose. It's about your time. It's about you leaving 30 minutes outside of a 10-hour day as salary. You know? And you already knew my hours because everything's in teams. At the end of that meeting, I'm like, this is not effective. You're telling we just last week. It's the 20th. We had the meeting on the 14th. Be honest and transparent with me. And then you show me specifically who you are by starting engaging that meeting and then refusing to be honest or truthful or anything that would show that we are working together. As early as I could see, this person was treating me like an enemy, and I had absolutely. Even when I ask, do you understand where I'm coming from? Like, do you understand? And I'm ad-libbing at this point, but and this is from what I remember, right? But I also have the Teams chat, which hone in more on what I was saying, which I plan to show if I need to. I learned in court that you don't have to show evidence. But I have it, you know. Um, you did this. You did this. You did this. This is the outcome. I'm not collecting because you see, shit is hard to talk. It's like so many things. Like it's like things I realize, things that like things that break my heart. 3 days after the meet, 20th, 2000, so April 23rd, 2020. Megan Shaw did not reach out to me regarding anything, anything. And this is someone who scheduled meetings, called in HR, did all this stuff. On April 23rd, Megan Shaw created a called progress report. And I've only known this woman for 2 weeks. And if the week prior, 14, you saw that I had a great aptitude for my position, told me as such, you know, and now we have a progress report on the 20, something's wrong. I reached out to HR because now I'm having a panic attack. And I'm like, something's wrong. This person, like, I don't know the purpose of any of these that she's calling. And it's harassment at this. I feel like it feels like harassment. Um, but when the meeting started, he said it was now a discipline. So within me entering a meeting that I knew to be about a progress, he was using that meeting and HR to give me a disciplinary. I've posted this disciplinary action. Um, I'll link it again, but right now I want to get all off my. That's one component of this, you know, that I am still because history has become fractured. I have to reestablish it based on what I know and what I. And I didn't collect evidence for this. I shit was just happening. And the receipt of these transactions exist. I held a meeting with you. One of the first things that she wrote on that discipline action was that she gave me coaching on April 12th and April 14th. And there's evidence that I called the meeting on the 14th. I didn't need it, right? Because I'm not collecting evidence, but you figure, and I guess I'll use this example that like it still just blows my mind. That's that's really where I am right now. Is the fact that like this woman created a disciplinary action based on data she took from me in the April 20th meeting. I'm having these issues with Megan because, and then to see it in a disciplinary action, I'm just like, you're kind of not, you are not honest. And I said that to HR at the time. She is not being honest. Having a panic attack in the middle of an HR meeting because this woman chose to lie. This person sought to damage professionally, emotionally, mentally. I told her I had depression and anxiety, and I can't trust anyone. Or it's not that like I can't trust anyone, you know, but like I don't know who to go to. I don't know. I just don't know these, you know, and it feels isolative. You hear me say this on the 14th, and then whatever is going on in your mind, by the 23rd, you choose to ambush me and lie to me about, or lie to HR and lie directly to me about the interactions you know that you and I have. And as she went there, as she sat there and listed all of these, you know, she knew what she, you know, like she knew what she was doing. She fabricated evidence to posit her side, or her side, I guess. Or I don't know. I don't know what would have motivated her to do that. I don't know, but she did them. And that's what I mean when it comes to like evidence. And I am not collecting evidence that we spoke on these dates. I'm not collecting evidence of anything because I don't have anything to prove. Um, bro, she not only collected, but she manipulated evidence in order to prove a point that I was being a problem in. And she was in fact demonstrated by that day, she demonstrated that she was not fit for her title. That I was going to keep things short, and so I am. So to offer a quick recap into what this story has been, so I worked for Diox Health by that for 5 years. I was promoted at least by my second or third time into in 2021. By 2021, I was promoted within 5 years. Um, I entered a new department, and within about a month or two of being in that department, um, my manager left, and I had a new. Megan Shaw came into the department, and within the first two, I had to address her behavior. By the following week, he doubled down on this behavior and worked together with HR, paper by HR. by April 23rd, 2020. The definitive statement, the claim that I need to make at this point is that Megan Shaw did not deserve her position, and it is evident by her clear and continued abuse of power. I want my episodes to be about 40 minutes long right now. I want the episodes to be about 40 minutes right now because there's a lot to get. Like, there's so much back. But so long as I take 1 week or so at a time episode, I think I'll be okay. I think I'll. The reason that I have chosen this manner, you know, this new title and everything, that'll be the next episode. And it's such a relief to talk about this stuff, and to let it go, and to know that, like, this is it. Like, this, I'm going to be getting somewhere with. Even if it is just the, like, even if it is just the freedom to never have to talk about this again. I want to be free. And so I will continue to talk about this right up until caught up to present day, because I have been going through a lot, and I just don't. So I want you guys to have a good day, and I will talk to y'all. This is Love You All. Peace.